Hey, what's up, guys? This is the German PA, also known as Lawrence. And today I want to talk about the interview day, the interview process. I actually just got back from an interview out of a school, and I had a really good feeling about this. I had a really good feeling after I left that interview, so I wanted to make a little video about my experience so far in the interview process. Just a little bit about my interview experience. I applied to 18 programs around the US and I received 9 interview invites. So that was a 50-50. That's a 50-50 number. And out of the 9 invites, I went to 5. And so far, I received 1 acceptance and 1 rejection. So I'm still waiting for 3 more results, and I still have 1 more interview ahead of me, which is next year. And yeah, to start off the day, usually you get greeted by either the first or the second year of that program, and that's a chance for you to get familiar with the campus because you can ask them questions that you might have. And yeah, it's a really informal way of getting introduced to the school that you might be able to attend. Yeah, you can ask them questions that you wouldn't ask a faculty member, and the students usually have a really great idea about the campus. For example, I asked them how safe it is, and that being around campus and outside campus, that's a really important factor for me. And I asked about living expenses and yeah, what to do for fun in that area. But yeah, once the students are done interacting with you, there's usually breakfast or lunch provided later on during the day, because those interviews usually run from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yeah, after that is done, the dean of the program usually gives a little speech and introduces the campus and its mission statement and the way the 2 to 3 years are being held in that college, in that PA program. So once that is done, there's different ways of how the interview can go. There can either be a writing portion, so you have to write a short answer or an essay to a topic that might be PA related or might not be PA related. So they just want to see that if the person that wrote that personal statement is really you. Because sometimes, or usually, people ask for help when, like, proofreading help if they write a personal statement, which you really should do. You should ask your friends and colleagues to like look over your essay. But I'll go over this in another video. Yeah, that's the essay that can be PA related or not. Then there might be group activities where you're with a group of PA applicants, and they might not even ask you a question, but the faculty will present a topic, and you among your group have to interact with each other where they can see how you react in a teamwork environment. And then another interview way is the individual interviews, where it can be either a one-on-one interview or a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1. The one is usually you. And yeah, those are the different scenarios. And yeah, there's also this thing called MMI, which I don't know what it stands for. Multiple mini interviews, I think. Yeah, where you go into one room and there's one faculty member asking you a bunch of questions, and then you go to the next room, and then there's another faculty member where you answer those questions as best as you can. So yeah, those are the different scenarios of an interview. And as you can tell, for the dress code for guys, I was wearing a tie and a white button up and yeah, slacks and a suit jacket. So you don't want to be too flashy when you go to the interview. You don't want to wear any like, bling blings for the guys. You for the ladies, you don't want to show cleavage, and you don't want to wear too much jewelry. And because you don't want to stand out by the way you dress, you want to stand out by your experience and by your by your by your by your passion to become a PA. So I wore a watch too. I don't know if that's a big watch. I wore a watch and I seen girls or ladies wearing slacks or pencil skirts or whatever those are called. And yeah, don't be too flashy with everything. Just be well groomed, and yeah, you will impress them by that. You will impress them that way. Don't say no with James. So common questions that I heard during my 5 interviews so far is, and I'm pretty sure you heard those questions before, but I'll just tell them again. Why do you want to become a PA? So have an answer right away. Once you hear this question, you should know why you want to become a PA, because you've been working for this moment for, I don't know, your entire life. Or for me, I started knowing about the profession 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been working towards that time, towards this interview, for that long already. So have an example, have a straightforward answer of why you want to become a PA. People say not to memorize that answer, which is true, but have a general idea of what you want to say and make it seem natural. And yeah, why you want to become a PA, and and add to that why you don't want to become a doctor or a nurse. I'm pretty sure they will ask you this question too, because I got asked this question like 5 times. And yeah, be familiar with the role of the PA. What does a PA do? What is his relationship to the doctor and the nurse? And they will ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. And yeah, never say you don't have a weakness, because that's the wrong answer. Have a weakness, which is which might be a strength, but you want to make it seem as a weakness, and how you overcame that weakness. And be familiar with your application. So the staff or the faculty has read your application. They read your essay. They read your experiences. They read your personal your references. So be familiar with what you did in the past, and what it taught you, what you learned from it, and yeah, you're good to go for that portion. What to do? Oh yeah, be familiar with the program that you're applying for. They will ask you why did you apply to this program. So have an answer to this, read its mission statement, and have some reasons why this mission statement fits your goals and your drive to become a PA. And be prepared to answer this question. What are you doing if you don't get accepted this year? Yeah, be familiar with this, but be prepared for this question. Have some patient interaction stories in the top of in your mind that you can narrate to the faculty once they ask you. Then those patient interactions, you get those through your patient experience and your clinical experiences. And yeah, have some stories where you're in a stressful situation and how you dealt with that stress. yeah, those are the main questions that I want to share with you. And there are a bunch of more questions that you can find online, but those are the questions that I've heard the most. And yeah. And some general tips for the besides what I already said. Some general tips that I want to share is spend money on your interview attire because you want, even though you don't want to be too flashy, you still want to impress them. So drop some money on those. Get it tailored. Make it neat, and yeah, you're good to go. From Have questions ready that you want to ask the faculty. Yeah, because they usually ask you after the end of the interview, like if you have any questions, and you should have some answers. You should have some questions ready because it's not only about them getting to know you. It's also about you getting to know the program if you really want to be in that program. So have some questions ready for them. Uh, practice practice your interview skills. It's a skill that can be improved. Practice by either talking to the mirror, asking yourself, and then talking to the mirror, taping yourself while you're giving those answers. And one of the best advice that I got is practice with your friends or your PA that you shadowed, because those PAs are the ones that went through this process already, so they can give you some good hints on interviews and your interview. I think it's called etiquette. Anyways, yeah, have some mock interviews, as many mock interviews as possible. I had friends interviewing me and I had PAs interviewing me, so I had a good grasp of how I behaved during the interview. And I had 5 interviews, so after each interview I got better and better. Smile during the interview and sit up straight. So my tendency is that I have a really slouchy body posture. So I try to remind myself to smile and to sit up straight. And if I forgot, I also wrote it down in front of my notes. We were giving the opportunity to have notes available, so I put in my notes to smile and to sit up straight. And if possible, throw in a good quote that you live by, and to name the person that said that quote. Like you can't always use that quote in every interview, but I used it maybe 3 out of 5 times. I used that quote, and yeah, they were really impressed when I said this quote. And if possible, schedule the interviews so your first choice will be the last interview. So if you have multiple interviews, you want your first choice of the school to be the last interview, so you have some practice before you go to that. So you have some practice before you go to that last interview. For me, unfortunately, my first interview was my first choice, so I was really nervous, and I'm pretty sure I bombed it. I'm still waiting for the results, but I haven't heard back from them. It's been months already. And yeah, how to practice your interview skills. What else? I can add some more things in the comment section if there's anything that I forgot. And yeah, another thing is apply to as many programs as possible, as many programs as your budget allows. That's how I did it. And yeah, if you have any more questions about the interview process, and then just write it on the comment section, and I will get to you as soon as possible. And oh yeah, another thing is I bought this book here. I think it's yeah, you can really read it. How to Ace the Physician Assistant School Interview, which helped me a lot. It asked me questions that I never thought of answering, and yeah, that's a good resource and good resource on the interview process. Besides that, I did a lot of mock interviews, so that helped me a lot. So yeah, if you have any questions, just write in the comment section, and I don't know what I will talk about next. Probably how to become a competitive applicant or how to get the interview. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye.